It's been a disaster for the Dallas Mavericks in the wake of the Luka Doncic trade, and it feels like they just can't get out of their own way. Now, today, they've held a somewhat secret meeting with the press to talk about the trade more than 2 months since it was executed. Why? Who knows at this point? This is bizarre stuff coming out of Dallas. I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe right here to the channel. Let's dive into this madness. Mark Stein said Mavericks execs Nico Harrison and Rick Welts are holding a roundtable this morning with selected Dallas media members. That word selected, that's problematic. Cameras and audio recording devices were not permitted for Harrison's first session with local reporters since the Luka Doncic trade. Wow. Stein goes on to say the event is taking place now on the eve of a winner-go-home play-in game in Sacramento. It's invite only, no cameras, rather than completely open to the entire Dallas media, as it should have been. Good Lord. So this is a somewhat secret press conference being held by the Dallas Mavericks for only hand-picked selected media members. Yeah, let's be careful. Let's make sure we don't bring anybody that might ask us a challenging question. And just in case a challenging question does get asked, let's make sure no one records it. No recording. If you've ever been to a press conference, one of the first things that reporters in the room do is they put their recording device, their tape recorders, whatever, digital recorders in this day and age, because, you know, I'm old. They put them on the desk, podium, what have you, in front of the interviewee. They want to make sure that they get an accurate representation of what's actually being said and not just going off of, oh, yeah, I remember him saying that, or I tried to scribble down this quote at some point, or whatever. I typed this out as he said it. They want to get the exact audio of what was being said, how it was said, all of that. So no recording devices, though. The Mavs say, nope, no recording devices. Can't have those. Can't record anything. Can't film it. Nothing like that. Just in case, I would assume, just in case somebody asks a difficult question. We can't afford to look bad again. But by doing this, by trying to shield yourself and protect yourself, you're only making yourself look even worse. And only hand-picked selected media members can go to, not the entire Dallas media. Nope, only hand-picked, favored media members get to go. That is so shady for Dallas to do that. Now, take a look at this. This is CBS was among the chosen few in Dallas to wind up there. Harrison said that despite the backlash across the sports world and among Dallas fans, he has no regrets. He said there's no regrets on the trade. And you can imagine how social media has responded. If you've seen the meme from We're the Millers, the no regrets, not even a single letter with it misspelled. Yeah, that's been flying around all over the place. Part of it is doing the best thing for the Mavs. Okay. Harrison said he believes the team post-trade, which was intended to be on the floor before all of the injuries, is a championship team. He added that once everyone is at full strength, the team will have one of the strongest front lines in the NBA. Well, look, he's not wrong. They would have a strong front, maybe the strongest, right? Anthony Davis. You've got PJ Washington, who can play at the 4 as well. Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively. That's a really good group, right? That's a really good group of bigs that gives you a lot of flexibility. He's not wrong about that. No, Kyrie Irving, that certainly has hurt them. You could see it right now when the Mavs play out there that they're missing that lead ball handler that can really control things and get things going. But Kyrie tore his ACL. Is he incorrect in saying the Mavs would have been good? No, I thought the Mavs on paper looked like a pretty good team. In theory. The problem is you already knew what Luka was, and not in theory. You already know what he is as a player. You already know what he means to Dallas. None of that is in theory. All of this is just on paper. Harrison added that every trade he's done has been met with scrutiny. That's not a justification, Nico. That's not. It's not. Look, that may be the way it's gone down for him. Like, people were skeptical of the PJ Washington trade. Did it work? They went to the finals. Yeah. People are skeptical of the Daniel Gafford trade. Did it work? Yeah. They went to the finals. Sometimes that happens where trades occur and the initial reaction to them is negative. And then in hindsight, you go, oh, wow, that actually was very positive. Or the opposite, where a trade occurs and people go, oh, wow, that's great. And then in hindsight, you go, oh, no, that didn't work out at all. Like, obviously it wasn't a trade, but Paul George going to the 76ers, we all went, oh man, the 76ers are going to be great. And now they've had the season from hell. You never know for sure what's going to happen. But that doesn't mean if everyone is telling you this is a terrible idea for you to look back and say, well, you know what, though? Everybody said that trade and that trade were bad. And because those worked out, that means none of these concerns are valid in the present. That's not the way that it works. We work with the information that's available to us. That's how we work. With the information that's available to us, we project forward as best we can. Is there 100% accuracy? No, because there can't be. It's impossible. That's why sports betting is even a thing, right? Because you cannot predict what's going to happen with 100% accuracy. You can't. There's times where you think it's a great move or a great decision, and it does not work out. But that doesn't mean that you should throw out all analysis or that all analysis is invalid, and you shouldn't listen to what anybody else is saying about a specific trade. So even though the trade's been met with scrutiny, you can't dismiss that scrutiny simply because there have been a few trades in the past that were scrutinized that worked out. That's not the way this whole game works. Harrison also said that while he believes Doncic is extremely talented, he doubled down saying the trade was the best decision going forward. But look, I don't blame him for doubling. What else is he going to do right now? What else is he going to say, "Oh yeah, I screwed up. My fault. My bad, everybody"? No, that would just be admitting to he can't do that. He might as well resign if he does that. If he says, "Oh, I screwed up." This is all, because then if it does work out, he doesn't. Right, he already said he messed up. Right now, Nico's best hope is that Kyrie Irving gets healthy next season, they make some moves this summer, and the Mavs win. That's the only way. That's the only way that Nico Harrison is going to be able to point at everybody else and go, see, I was right. That's it. If the Mavs win, that's it. And if he admits defeat now, then while that opportunity is, the window has already been slid shut a bit due to Kyrie's injury and injuries to Anthony Davis and other players as well, he completely takes that possibility off the table if he admits defeat now. Rick Welch said, talking about the fans, we hear them. It's on us to win back their trust. This story is unfinished and we understand the pain. Now, keep in mind, part of this is going to be ownership not wanting to pay Luka on a Supermax contract. I would contend that losing Luka, if finances were a piece of this, actually cost you more money than you would have given up by giving him a Supermax contract. I understand maybe not wanting to give a player a Supermax deal for whatever reason, but Luka is certainly not the player that I would draw the line on. Understand if it's a lower tier player, but that's not Luka. But nonetheless, if they decided, well, we just really don't want to give a Supermax contract out, I think the negative ramifications are costing them more money than what a Supermax contract would have. When we look at the lack of jersey sales, Luka's Lakers jersey is now number one. We talked about this yesterday. Now number one in the NBA in jersey sales. That's something to factor in as well, right? Ticket sales, season tickets, gone. Season tickets, gone as well. That's obviously a problem for the Dallas Mavericks because they've got so many people that have said, no, thank you. We don't want Mavs season tickets anymore, and have canceled those. So how much money did they actually lose because of the Luka trade? So when they're saying, oh, this was still the right decision for us, well, again, they're just doubling down on all of this. The bottom line, this is a rough time for Mavs fans. And now you've got your front office finally. Now, just when all the talk, the game, the Lakers came back to Dallas, we had all the buzz, all the stuff, all the news swirling about Luka coming back to Dallas, all of that. That was a week ago. All of that was starting to die down. Now they decide to hold a secret press conference for only selected media members that is forbidden to be recorded to talk about the Luka situation again. First, why did they want to talk about it again? Period. There was no reason to do that, especially when they're just about to go into the biggest game of the season, and now everybody's going to be talking about the Luka stuff again. My God. I'm sorry, Mavs fans. I don't know what to say. Like, this is insane. This is completely insane what they're doing. Like, the timing of this to talk about this, they should have done this 2 months ago when the trade happened and actually made it open to the media and actually allowed it to be recorded. I don't know. Like step by step, If you said, what are the biggest mistakes you could make after a controversial trade? It's like the Mavs just went, oh, we're gonna do all of those things. Every mistake you could possibly make after a controversial trade, we're gonna do all of them. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Mavs fans, I'm sorry. I know how frustrated Mavs fans are and should be. This is absurd. Everybody, give me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe right here to the channel. Till next time. See ya. And stay safe.